You see, the thing about it is, I mean, there's a business side of this really that we've never really talked about very much, right? We've always just talked about the body code or the emotion code, and then we've talked a little bit about being a practitioner. And what we're trying to do now is we're trying to really bring that aspect of it in. And these are absolutely the best guys in the world, I believe, to do that, to help you guys. Because I want you to be successful. I want you guys to be super successful. Because what we have to do is we've got a big job ahead of us, you know. We've got the whole world we have to change. That's a pretty big job, right? Right? Yeah. And the thing about it is, okay, if you're in a place where you are suffering about money, let me tell you something. I had, to get to the point that I'm at, I had a lot of work done on me. And let me tell you about an experience that I had, actually. I had a lot of emotional stuff about money, and a lot of it was inherited. And you guys all have a lot of inherited stuff about money, too. And then you got your own stuff about money. And we have to get out of that stuff. We've got to break out of those chains, because as healers, you see, we need to have abundance, don't we? All of us, if we're going to do what we need to do. Does that make sense? Yeah. I totally believe that. And, I'll tell you an experience that I had about this. Gene was working on me. And, in the body code, we have something called images, right? Which is like a picture in your mind of something, some kind of a symbol to you. And very rarely, in my experience, have I seen those to be inherited, okay? But we found this inherited image that I had, and it came to me just in a flash, and I could see it as clearly as anything I've ever seen in my life. And it was somebody's hands, and they were digging a potato out of the earth. And there was a phrase that was kind of connected up with this. It was a despair anchor, we would call it, a little phrase. And we couldn't figure out the phrase. And the reason why, and this might sound really strange, but the reason why we couldn't figure it out was because the phrase wasn't in English. It was in Gaelic, which is the old Irish language, right? And that's where my ancestors were from on my dad's side. And the phrase was, "I am poor Irish." That went along with this, digging those potatoes out of the soil. And the potato famine and all that happened over there, my daughter was just over there, and she was telling me that there are still a lot of places where they still can't grow potatoes because of the fungus in the ground. It just kills them. It's been there all these years. And so I had to get rid of that. And then I told you, some of you have heard about the emotion that I had, the inherited emotion that I had of hopelessness. I'll tell you about that story maybe in a couple of minutes here. But I think that clearing those two things made a huge difference for me, because it's funny. Money is just an energy. It's just a thing. But sometimes we have baggage about it, and sometimes we resent people that make money, right? That's a natural thing sometimes. And sometimes we have issues about it that are keeping us kind of in our little box. And I want you guys to not be in a box. I want you to be able to break out of that box, and that's why I brought these guys. So take advantage of these guys, okay, as much as you can.